Okay, hi everyone. So welcome to our New Year session. So we've decided that because we had such an amazing kind of viewing numbers for our last Christmas pools that we did on a number of different topics, we'll be uh, we'll be running these sessions every kind of 2 weeks, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that. But if you really like the stuff that we do, I know we haven't done too many videos yet, but if you really like what you've seen so far, do like, share, and subscribe. And as it's we're just in, so for me, I'm the 3rd of January 2024 in Hong Kong, and the rest of you guys, you're on the 2nd of January 2024. How was your festive season, Barb?
How was the New Year's Eve thing, you mean?
Yeah, how was the whole of your Christmas and New Year period? Was it good?
Oh
Do
yeah.
you feel refreshed or exhausted?
A little bit of both. I had a
Yeah,
quiet Christmas. I mean, I worked. There's a lot of parties around town. And New Year's was a lot of fun, a lot of preparations. But we had a very, very good time, a very good turnout, and then it was a success. So I had a really good
awesome,
time. And then also
awesome.
family came to visit. So I had the whole small apartment. I had at least 10, 12 people in here trying to find seats to, sit on the floor, sit on the couch,
Crazy.
sit on the it was fun. It was fun.
Super. Kyla, how was yours?
It was good. It was quite restful, just quiet family time this year, but it was good to get the rest. We've been sick for a little while too, so I think that helped a lot, that restful period.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think that 2024 will be a bit of a crazy year. I feel like everything's going full pelt already, and we're only
It
just
is,
started.
yes.
Lynn, how was yours? I can just about see you.
Hello. Hello.
Hello there.
Happy New
How are
Year,
you?
everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We could
I'm
barely see
How
your
let's rock and roll, ladies.
how was your festive season, Lynn? Are you
It's great.
refreshed or exhausted?
I'm refreshed. I did absolutely nothing, just like I wanted to do.
Oh, I'm so jealous, so
awesome.
jealous.
And how
All
about
right.
you, Ali? You didn't
Oh
you
my good.
didn't let us know how you spent your
Yeah,
time.
I had family here, so there was six of us in the house and four dogs, and so I was a domestic goddess mainly. I'm really good at cleaning bathrooms now, really good
Oh,
every 5 minutes.
Tell me about it.
Um, yeah, I know. I'm a cleaning bathroom wizard, laundry wizard, and chief chef.
but you had a
Yeah.
fun time too, I expect.
Yeah, there was fun, but oh my God, I haven't stopped. It's been crazy. Um, all right, guys. So, it is the Gregorian New Year. And what we mean by that is that we feel that the actual proper New Year is probably the 1st of April, or it could be the Chinese New Year, which is this year it starts on February the 10th. But because it's the Gregorian calendar, we're just going to celebrate the New Year as it is. So to begin with, let's do some energy clearing, and I'm going to hand it over to Kyla and Lynn to clear our energy, clear us of all the rubbish of 2023, and launch us into a lovely, bright, spanking, sparkly new year.
Great. So as Ali said, as we clear the energy for today's show, we also want to take a moment to clear any negative energy that still lingers from 2023. We ask our higher selves, godly source energy, our personal angels and spirit guides, and universal love energy of the highest frequency to be with us as we move into the tarot segment. Everything else must leave now. I now hand it over to Lynn.
Nice. Thanks, Lynn. Thank you. I feel all
That was
clear.
beautiful.
I
That
feel
really
clear.
rang in a special way right there.
Yeah, that was super. So just to tell everybody what we're going to do for the tarot section next is we're going to talk about certain events that happened in January 2021 in Washington. We're going to do a couple of card pulls on that. And then we're going to do a zodiac layout for everybody here, everybody that's watching. What can we expect for the full year ahead of 2024? So super exciting. I'm super excited for this year. I think it's going to be a real kind of roller coaster. hang on to your toes. I think it will be crazy, but let's see what the cards say later. And then Lynn has prepared already a tarot and oracle card and dice pool spread for the next 2 weeks. So how we can best navigate the next 2 weeks. So it'd be interesting to see what the zodiac spread suggest will be happening, and anything that we should particularly take or pay attention to, really. So first of all, the first question that we're going to ask the cards, so Kaila's going to pull on, was Rumble attacked because they're about to release the tapes for that event in January 2021 in Washington. So I believe that Rumble was about to release the footage back in December, and because it went down for a little bit. So was that on purpose? Was Rumble purposefully attacked because of that? So Kaila, what Kaila will do is she will pull some cards. She'll pull a Kachina knife card pull, and then we'll screen share it so you can see it all. And then we will talk through the cards, how we see and the insights regarding the answers to that question. Just bear with us a sec. How long was Rumble down for?
I think it was sporadic, and it depended on what country, because from what I was hearing, Australia wasn't having an issue viewing some of the Rumble channels.
Mm-hmm.
When did this happen exactly?
In December.
I think it was around December the 11th. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And you said how long was it down for? It depended on each country?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it makes sense that it was probably down longer in the US or US and Canada, right?
Yeah,
because
I
it's
think
more
so.
specific.
Wow. Yeah, I hadn't even noticed it because that was when I had that when I was first going through that sinus cold thing, and I wasn't watching anything on the internet. So, gosh, I would have noticed that. Yeah.
Okay, can everybody see it?
Right. Nice. You got your lovely cards.
Nice.
Okay,
Yes.
so the question was Rumble attacked because it was about to release some video footage of those January 2021 events. Kaila, what's your initial take on that, as it was your card pull?
So what I'm seeing is, in the past with the Ace of Pentacles, there was some sort of new beginning, something happening. Has to do with the Hierophant here. I'm going to assume that this is the bad guys trying to disrupt whatever needs to come out. So card number 1 is the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands being something happening at the last minute. Something, was it that these tapes were sort of, was it a surprise that they were going to be released? I don't know the details about it.
I don't think so. I think Rumble had announced
it. Was expected.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Something is happening at the last minute. The Empress is sort of representing that day on January, the 6th of January, on that day in 2021, where people actually came out. The Empress is someone who is abundant. There's somebody who sits in her truth. So people came out that day, and there's no bad intentions here. There's no bad card representing that day. So there's people were there for good reasons, but in the middle is the Hierophant. So how would I would say, so it looks, or it appears as if this was a disruption on behalf of the bad guys to disrupt Rumble because of the tapes. But in the outcome, we have the Emperor. So this represents Trump and the White Hats. The Knight of Wands and the World. Something was changing or something is coming out. In terms of those tapes, there's definitely a big revelation happening. With the Knight of Wands and the World, what would you all say about this advice? I'm not quite sure if I believe this was partly the reason that, something was coming out with the World and the Knight of Pentacles, so news coming out quickly. How would you guys interpret this one?
My initial, as you were talking there, is I feel like there's going to be a whole new internet, and this whole new internet is only going to have truth on it. And I don't know what that's related with Rumble per se, but I feel like when we step through, because I feel like, so I can't remember who I was hearing the other day, and they were talking about, as soon as something is announced regarding the financial system, it's going to dominate. There's loads of other things changing. One of those will be there's going to be a whole new internet, and there's probably going to be multiple internets, perhaps. I don't know. I get the feeling that only truth will be allowed on a specific internet. And your clarifying cards up there, I think the Ace of Swords and the Swords says to me that yes, they definitely Rumble was kind of stopped because they didn't want all this to come out, and it needed to be on hold for the time being. Right. But it will come out, because with that Three of Pentacles at the bottom of your deck, it's already been arranged that it will come out. There's already been, it's already been established that that's what will happen. But I think it's just a yes, but wait and see. It will come out. Have you got any more to share on that, Bob?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, with the Nine of Wands, which is the first card in the middle line of cards, just in case if somebody's out there learning tarot, the Nine of Wands, the guy that's really looks like he's really tired. He's come right to the edge of something. So I think that represents Rumble. And then as aspected with the Empress, they were going to come out in a big way with information regarding the Hierophant. In this situation, it would be the deep state. So, hold on a second. Yeah, it would be the deep state. So they're going to come out with some information, and of course, I have the big yes in the background with the Pentacles. That just represents something physical coming into physical, and a physical being. And at the bottom, it just represents the with the white hat stopping the whole thing, kind of like halting it from coming out at that time that didn't. And then with the two clarifiers, with the Two of Swords, the Two of Swords and the Sword, swords of thoughts and words. So they've kind of put a halt to it for the moment. So yes, and eventually it will come out. But the question was, were they stopped because of that, or were they about to come out with something? Yeah, so I agree. They're just about to come out with it, and they kind of put a halt to it.
Lynn, anything you want to add to that?
And by the way, the glasses that I'm wearing, it's not because I want to be showing the lights. But these are computer glasses. Actually, they're very, very relaxing for the eyes. And when I sit at the computer, staring at the computer, it's the blue lights coming out of the computer.
Blue lights, yeah.
These are very, very relaxing. They're like amber,
Are they the blue
color.
light blockers? The blue blockers, Barbara?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm so relaxed.
Yeah,
when I'm done,
my readers
like,
are blue blockers too. Yeah.
and instead of on the edge. So
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah,
down with
that's what I'm getting.
I agree with
You're
what
just
everybody's
down with the
saying, but
kids.
I honestly think the white hats made it look like it was the bad guys with the Hierophant there in the middle.
Oh, okay. You all right with that? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was on mute. I'm sorry.
It's all right, Lynn. It's all
No,
right.
I was just letting him know, so he's back and forth, and
I
if he
know.
doesn't want to be seen, but just I couldn't find a background to do it. So hey, that it is what it is. I'll try to mute it or stop the video whenever I can. I'll stop it now. But I could you can still hear me though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. Yeah, the only thing I was saying is I believe it was the good guys making it look like it was the bad guys stopping it. I don't necessarily know that there would have there could have been a slowdown with the Two of Swords, but I mean, really, the major pull says it all. So I think, but I do like Allie. You're seeing like the whole new internet. I mean, we're hearing that a lot, and it makes sense. So, but
And I think that's a really interesting point that you made there, Lynn. It's the white hats making it look like the bad guys, because are the bad guys in charge of anything anymore?
yeah.
Are they? I think they're probably scrabbling around. I think
there's some minions. Yeah, there's some minions left over, I think, but none of the big guys. So,
and I think they'll try and get increasingly the closer they get to the end of their, should we say, the end of the world of the cabal, they certainly a little bit more desperate and crazy. I mean, we saw that
that's what the world could mean. The world could actually mean that it's going into the new beginnings because it's being revealed. So it is the end of the bad guys, and everybody's going to find out.
And like Janine says, a lot of them didn't get the memo yet. So imagine working for a big super duper King Kong corporation, and everything is passed down to you, and you're only in contact with your manager that's right here, or the one that's right here, the regional manager, and they don't really know. So you're still taking out the commands, and nobody knows that it's on fire at the top.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Nice. So our next question is, will the truth about that event in January come out clearly for the general public within the first half of 2024, so by the end of June? So as we've just seen, it's on hold, but when will the truth come out? Because there's if nobody's kind of on top of this, there's so many videos of people just walking through, and it doesn't look like it's being stormed, like the Bastille was stormed. It doesn't look anything like that at all. It definitely does look like a prearranged kind of event to make it look like it was stormed. But these videos aren't on the mainstream media. They're not on the BBC, they're not on CNN and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to pull on question.
How are you wording the question again, Allie?
So will the truth about that event in January come out for the general public within the first half of 2024? So by the end of June.
That'd be a nice birthday present for me.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yes, for sure.
You might get what you wish for.
There we go. I'll take it earlier.
Yeah, it's about time truth starts coming out for everybody else, right? Because we all know already.
Isn't it?
I mean, the proof is out there already.
Yep.
So much proof.
So many people that still have absolutely no idea what's going on. No idea.
Yeah.
And by the way, do you remember, oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. The guy that came from out of nowhere he's from like outer space almost, but I know he's human. But he did a lot of interviews with everybody around. What's his name? He has like a Spanish last name. And
Oh,
Janine
Ishmael
had
Perez. Ishmael Perez.
Ishmael Perez, exactly.
Ishmael.
Ishmael Perez. I'm sorry, Ishmael Perez, if you're watching this. I'm sorry your name. Gorgeous guy, by the way. But he was saying at one time that people are going to be on 3D level and in 5D.
Yep.
And that's kind of like how I feel. Some people are on 3D and 5D. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chariot's
All right.
still got some hidden, still got some smoke and mirrors. Go, Allie, it's your poll, girl.
Okay. Look at how untidily I pulled that. I didn't line them up. Deep apologies for anyone who's got OCD. I'm a little bit. I'm actually just straightening.
Just threw them right on out there.
I'm just chuck it on down. I'm just straightening my cards out in front of me because that makes me feel better. So yeah, I feel like there was a bit of disappointment because this stuff didn't come out because people were expecting it because Rumble did announce it. But I feel like it will be quick from here on in. And I'm just looking at that Seven of Cups card. I think that with the Four of Swords, yeah, it will just come out, everything that's been hidden. Let me see.
I think your Seven of Cups is basically the whole January 21 scenario, being smoke and mirrors and being illusions, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right. I was just looking at the Page of Wands there and thinking, if that relates to a new internet, because that could be kind of or a kind of a new way of kind of because wands are they're quite action work kind of orientated as well, and I'm thinking how that kind of relates to
how it's going to come out, you mean?
Sorry, say again.
You think it's going to come out in some sort of new way, in some
format?
sort of new format?
Yeah, because it's definitely kind of been arranged already. It's a contract arrangement already with that Two of Cups at the bottom there. So it's already been arranged what's going to happen. But with those Two of Pentacles, I think they're probably deciding. They've probably got a couple of options how it'll actually come out. But I think you're right, Kaila. I think there's going to be a whole new way, or maybe a whole new method. And I keep thinking about this new internet thing.
That reminds me actually of like Tori says, I follow her on Telegram. I remember there was one point she introduced like a whole new website, and she said, "Oh, keep your eyes on here because all of the information, all of the tapes are going to come out here." So I'm wondering if that's how it's going to be first, you know, as you're talking. Yeah, I don't know.
It would make sense, something like that, as opposed to a whole new internet thing, because that really wasn't a part of this question. But it may just be that it's not going to be Rumble, because your general question was, are we going to know about it within the first 6 months? I'd say, obviously with the Three of Swords, we've had a lot of heartbreak about it taking so long and so on and so forth. There's still stuff hidden. The Page of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles could obviously mean that they're going back and forth between how to really bring it all out. Your Ace of Swords and your Six of Pentacles, obviously it's going to come out, and it's going to be
and I think
everybody's benefit.
And I think with that Six of Pentacles, I think within the next 6 months, I think is right. Lynn, how would you read that Page of Wands in the future in regard to this question?
It's almost kind of giving you like your soft yes. I know it's not in the first
Yeah.
2 rows. To me, I'm kind of reading it more as a soft yes. That yeah, it's going to be within the 6 months. Yeah, I'm not necessarily, you know, obviously a new beginning or whatever, but it's more of a soft yes to me in this poll, the way you've got the cards, especially, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
the
If you think
chariot
about
makes it, you know, once it comes out, it's going to be fast.
Yeah.
And, you know, people are just going to be, whether they want to hear it or not, it's going to come out. And
Yeah.
so, and
I
obviously
feel
with
like
the Empress, go ahead, Kaila.
And
sorry,
go on.
I feel like
Sorry.
with the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Cups, it's like a balancing act, like something, it's not going, it's right there, it's just ready to come out, but something is being, you know, they're waiting on something. Like, you know, as we know, things happen over a period of time, and something happening is dependent on something happening before. So they're waiting on something to happen, and then it's just gonna, you know, come out. So the soft, I get it as a soft yes to the Page of Wands, but it's dependent on like something else happening. So the Six of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords is like truth is there and it's being worked on, but something has to click first and then it's going to drop. So yeah. And it's interesting that we got the Empress at the bottom of the deck, and it was in the first card pull for representing that specific day. That's how cards work, right? It's so you can't make it up. It's so nice.
I kind of get the Page of Wands as a soft yes as well, because I mean, not only just a soft yes. Now, if it's a Page of Wands, if it was a King of Wands or like a Queen of Wands, like it goes into the dimensions. Like a page is just a little bit, the knight is just a little bit more, and then the Queen is a little bit more, then the King is the top. So I not only get that as a soft yes, but as it's going to be kind of yeah, well, by the way, it did, but it's going to kind of like throw some people off with that two of Pentacles. It's going to kind of like throw some people off. But I did get the Chariot as that rush in, the event where everybody kind of rushed in, and I do get the Seven of Cups, like Lynn said, as you know, something that wasn't really real, some kind of smoke and mirrors, some kind of tricky thing. Yeah. But it did hurt a lot of people in the past, that 3 year swords. And I personally know people that like were hurt, like, oh my gosh, why did that have to happen? Why did these people and blah, blah, blah. You know, so it really generally did help hurt some people. But as the Six of Pentacles, the sixes kind of like eases things and kind of releases things and kind of makes things better. So they're gonna, and with the Page of Swords, it's gonna come out kind of like slowly, I think. I mean, I don't know if it's going to come out fast because it's Chariot, but the way it comes out, people are going to start kind of understanding a little bit. So
and Bob, perhaps the Six of Pentacles is relating to the financial system, because I kind of feel that Six of Pentacles is kind of like Nazara type card. You know, you're giving money back to the people that actually owns it, and you see you've got a nice gold backed there, and I wonder with the two of Cups, you know, maybe the thing that starts it off, just like I said in the previous poll, is the crash of the financial system, or maybe not just the crash, but the development or the unveiling of a new system. I think probably more the latter.
That may be what they're waiting on. The Six of Pentacles may be, as a clarifier, could be what they're waiting on. Maybe some more of the crash before it comes out too.
I mean, it could be connected. It could be connected once that information comes out about that event. It could have something to do with the financial system as well. I mean, a lot of it is connected.
Just real quick, for another version of our Page of Wands, I just checked my little cheat sheet that I got. And interesting, the Page of Wands, exploration, excitement, and freedom. How about that? It's going to free the people that have been in jail.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And I think the Empress there is a nod to the bounteous kind of free world that is just around the corner. I think that's a little nod there. Does anyone view that differently, the Empress?
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to say before, because as you guys were talking about the financial system, the Empress is abundance, right? So and maybe that's exactly a nod to something going down with the financial system, shifting, and then the truth comes out. So it sort of adds upon each other.
Yeah. And I think it's just pulling in from your poll too, just to say, hey, it's all related.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other questions that we have based on that subject matter? Does anybody have anything else they'd like to pull on it? Any clarification of either the cards that I or Kaila pulled, or are we good with that?
I think we're good with that. We'll start the Zodiac because that's going to take us a little while.
All right. Barb.
Yeah.
Zodiacking. All
right, let's do some Zodiacking.
All right, so the question is, so this is also be a poll for the whole of 2024. For our viewers, awake pipe, look at the gorgeousness there. Look at that.
Gold for 2024.
Gold for goldbacks.
Yeah.
So this is for everybody watching and us awakened folk. What can we expect in the year of the 2024? And Lynn, have you got that little guide for us as well for each
the 12 houses
month?
Yep.
So just to explain the Zodiac spread in case people haven't seen this before. So what we do is we go around all of the houses of the Zodiac, starting with Aries, ending in Pisces, and so each house relates to a different area of our lives. And we also have a 13th card pull in the middle, which is basically an overall kind of feeling and energy for that year. But Lynn, who's our budding astrologer in the group, she will be telling us what each house means and how it will how those cards will kind of influence each area of our lives. So it's an absolutely gorgeous kind of card pull. It's a great, we often use it for we often use it for clients when they don't have any specific questions. They just want kind of some overview advice for the year. And then if someone has got specific, and what we might do at the end here is if we have more specific questions and we want specific clarification on one area, then we can do like a Kachina knife on one area. It just kind of, we can kind of drill down in a little bit on that. So let's see what.
All right, I'm just trying to make it a little bit more organized. Great. I'm just trying to make it a little more organized. So I'll just take another picture here and I'm going to upload it.
You mean you're not going to just throw them all over your keyboard like Allie?
Please don't do that. It's not good, is it? Not a good look. I apologize.
But it feels good when you do that.
I know,
right? I apologize
for your dirty cards.
Messy hands.
Messy.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, we'll get better.
All right, here we go. I am uploading it right now. And there you go.
All right, hang on.
It's right there.
Yeah, let me do the screen share.
I don't really have much space. It's a small desk. So I hope you can see
all there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are good pictures. We just can't see what the but we know the Page of Cups. Can you guys see my arrow when I'm here?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Cam. Yeah.
So when you guys are talking, I will try to follow through and around. Okay, so whoever's gonna start we're gonna start right here for our viewers that aren't aware. This is the first house of Aries.
Yeah. So
house of self.
Bob,
yeah.
Just before we get into like each house, what's your take on the energy for this year, and the overall kind of feeling that you get from these specific cards?
Yeah. Well, the overall feeling I get, the first feeling I get is which represents exactly what was the question again? Oh, the zodiacs?
What's your overall feeling for
No, I got that. I mean
these cards
the
and the energy?
zodiac question.
What's the what advice for everybody here for the whole of 2024?
Oh, it was advice. Okay. Well, the first
Or
impression that
or how the year will kind of pan out
okay, how the
for
year will pan
everybody
out.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The very first card that I put down, which represents us, is the Emperor. So I feel that we're really sitting in our power. We're sitting in our confidence. We're feeling pretty good about a lot about everything. We're sitting confidently. So whether you know the truth or you don't know the truth, you know the truth and you're sitting confidently, or you don't know the truth, it's almost like you want to find out what the truth is, because it's like you look around and you're not really satisfied with the answer. So I'm going to go forward with my questions and try to find out some information for myself instead of just being the lost lamb, you know? So I feel that the Emperor represents us as sitting in our confidence, and that puts the whole feel in the whole thing for me. And then when I look in the middle, the last card, that one, the Page of Pentacles in the middle, that's an element of something changing, something coming into fruition, something that we really want to do, something that we're putting forth. We have a good idea, we have a good feeling of putting forth, of bringing something tangible into the mix. So that's the whole overall feeling that I get, and I'll let you all talk about the different positions. Or did you want me to go around the whole?
So Lynn, how would you describe the first house of Aries? What does the Emperor represent here for us all?
These are typically, it's how others perceive us. Physical vitality, personal projects, goals, embodiment, physical appearance, what comes naturally to us. So I agree with how Barbara was wording it, that we're sitting, in our knowledge, in our power. We're here, we're ready for the year.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the card that really sticks out to me is the Seven of Cups again in the House of Pisces. I can't wait till we get to that. You got an illusion card in an illusion house.
Yeah. I think that one means everything is going to be flipped. Everything is just going to go, what the hell? I think it's interesting with the Emperor. I think that means that everybody is feeling confident, feeling strong, and it's aspected by the Queen of Swords. So we're feeling good and we're feeling strong in our truth. And she doesn't mess around, the Queen of Swords. She's really good. And I think what's really interesting here about this pull is we've only got sorry, scrap that. We've got three major arcanas. But I'm
love
not
having
seeing
the Emperor and the Empress right next to each other too, in the House of Self and the House of Money.
This is really interesting, isn't it? But I'm not seeing any really negative cards. I mean, we've got the Seven of Cups there, which is not a particularly fun card, and we've got the Five of Pentacles.
Aspected well.
But yeah, but we've not got any Ten of Swords. We've not got any Devils happening. We've not got any Death or Moon cards.
I don't see any devastating cards.
Sorry, say again.
I don't see any devastating cards.
No, this is it. They're all pretty positive cards, aren't they? I think so. I think just as an initial kind of look at it, I think it's I think we're going to have a good year. But just as Lynn said, I think it's really interesting with the Emperor next to the Empress, and that is the third time we've had the Empress. So Lynn, how would you talk about the second house of Taurus, which is the position that the Empress is in?
And that's our money and finance, wealth and resources, our investments, and we know that the Empress is abundance. So this is going to be an abundant year. It's a good year. Self-value, our voices, even bringing out our voices more. So
yeah. So yeah, it's and I think that highlights a new financial system, whatever that is going to look like, because I don't feel that people are going to be abundant until a new financial system is in place. So yeah, that's interesting. Anyone got anything further to say on the Empress and her position?
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead, Kaila, because I'm going to back up.
Sure. So with the Empress and being clarified by the Seven of Wands, I say what's happening here. We know abundance is coming, but sticking to your personal, truth, whatever that means for you. And next to the Seven of Wands is the Four of Swords, which is some sort of unknown information. So it just reminds us that before the new system comes out, there's going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride. And so we are not financial advisors by any means, but sort of, sticking to your own truth, looking internally and seeing how to protect yourself in that area, because this is where money, finances, wealth, resources, self-value, that I think would kind of show up there. Also with the Queen of Swords next to the Seven of Wands and the Four of Swords also. So that's just what I wanted to add, because next to the Empress is the Five of Pentacles. So temporary setbacks in terms of finance, banking, whatever, we know that's coming. How it's going to come, we're not quite sure. So just being mindful to be, go internally, whatever you need to do to protect yourself, think about that.
Anything you want to add there, Bob?
Oh yeah, I was going to back up to the Emperor and how it was aspected with the Queen of Swords. So basically, we're sitting in our confidence and in our power. At the same time, we want the truth. We want truth to come out. A lot of people are kind of fed up. People that followed everything that they were told to do, and it seems like a lot of stuff may not be working out for them or working out the way they thought it would. So it's kind of like, well, doggone it, I'm tired of it, and I'm not going to take any more. I want answers, So I feel that the Emperor was sitting in confidence, and we want that information to come out. And just like Lynn said, the Queen of Swords, she doesn't play around. She's brutal, she's cutthroat with it. She's truthful, but she's cutthroat with it. She has no mercy. So that's how people are kind of feeling right now. I want the truth, and I want it now. I want it yesterday. And Kaila that said about the Empress. Now the Empress, was the Empress aspected, you said, with the Four of Swords, or was it with the Seven of Wands?
Seven of Wands.
Oh, the Seven of Wands. Okay, yeah, the Seven of Wands. So yes,
finance houses.
Yes. So yeah, I agree with that. And then you left off on the Five of Pentacles.
Yeah, I was just saying, because the cards around they also give more information. So because the Five of Pentacles is just right next to the Empress, the feeling I got was, yes, we are expecting some sort of disruptions, whether it be temporary or what, we're not sure. Maybe for some people it's going to be different to others, so it's just a reminder. This is the year that I think we're actually going to see more happening with that financial system.
And I think, sorry, what I was just about to say is the Five of Pentacles in the third house of Gemini there. I mean, that's an important card, and it's like, what's on everybody's mind and what are they manifesting?
Yeah, exactly.
So
House of communications. Yeah. Siblings, co-workers, local environment. Yeah.
And I also think with the Queen of Swords in the seventh house of Libra there, that can be related to how we're speaking to people that we're having close relationships with. I think we're being a little bit more, we're standing in our power and we're saying the truth. I think in the past we probably would have avoided the truth, but I think this year we will speak more of the truth, and probably because these people will come to us and ask us. So yeah, so that's what I'm feeling about the Queen of Swords as well in that position.
I agree with you, Ali. I was getting that same idea with the Emperor and the Queen of Swords, and also with the Seven of Cups just right next to the Emperor. It's a lot happening this year, and a lot of reveals, and people are going to be sort of, confused, and it's like it reminds me of make your way to the nearest conspiracy theorist. They're going to clear things up for you. It's like we're
They can call
standing in
us.
our strength. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're standing in our power this year with the Seven of Wands right next to that Queen of Swords, and we're sticking to our truth. And not in the years gone by, we sort of had our ups and downs with how the world was looking at us. Sometimes we had to be a little bit more in the background, but now it's like, no, we're standing in our strength and power, and we're sticking to our truth.
Yeah, and I think you're right with that Seven of Cups in the House of Pisces there. I mean, this can also relate to breakdowns as well. I'm thinking that it's going to
Mental
freak
health,
people the
addictions.
F out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And
secret enemies. So yeah. But
and
it's aspected with the strength, so that may be going more towards spiritual and your dreams and it could even be for charity and selflessness, the strength in overcoming the illusions.
Yeah, and it's aspected. You've got the Ace of Swords next to it, you've got the Emperor next to it, and you've got strength across from it. So it's like everything that people knew as truth will fall and be replaced by the truth. Now, how people relate to that, some people are going to freak the F out, I think, but I think a lot of people it's going to make sense. This is what I kind of feel. I feel that I think for some people a lot hasn't made sense, but they haven't really questioned it. But it will kind of join the dots. It'll make sense for people. That's kind of how I feel as slowly as the truth comes out.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the fourth house, the card right at the bottom. I cut the name off the Page of Cups. He's holding a cup with the fish coming out. Yeah.
So that's the House of Cancer, the House of Family.
The House of Cancer, House of Family. So I see that as also surprising, like a surprise factor, and also kind of something new coming out. People are going to probably start really reevaluating their feelings as a family, and it's aspected with the 10 of Cups at the top. See the happy family up there?
Yeah.
So I get the impression that people are really going to start reevaluating the family circle, reevaluating, and not only blood family, but even friends and people that make you feel like family. They're really
soul families. Soul families.
Exactly, even the soul families as well. So, if we lost that in the last few years, I believe that might be something that people are going to start holding on to now. They're going to start looking around and say, well, wow, who really loves me? Who really respects me? Who do I really love and respect? I'm going to go be near that person. And I think that's what's going to start happening in this next year, this next 6 months or year that's coming up. And so if we go in order, now that was the fourth house, we go to the fifth house. So we won't be jumping around the whole zodiac. So we get to the fifth house. So the fifth house, what's that?
That is creative expression. That's a House of Leo, the sun. Yeah. So that's a victory. Yeah. It's creativity, children, romance, sex, fun, vacations. We're going to be able to start traveling again with all those portals. We're going to be all able to have our luncheons and go home just like that.
Yes. And that sounds good because
it's
aspected. It sounds good because it's aspected with the Ace of Swords. So that's like looks like something really positive that's going to be happening.
And I also feel, because the House of Leo is end of July and August, I feel like end of July and August is going to be really good. I think there's going to be lots of things to celebrate then. I think a lot of stuff will be coming out.
Nice.
And also, interestingly, just thinking about the months here. So the third house is in Gemini. That's May, right? So May might be a bit of an iffy month, looking at that five of Pentacles card there. But things get better as we move into June, and even better into July and August. So we've got what card is that aspected by? So we've got aspected by the Ace of Swords, the house. So the House of Leo is aspected by the house of Aquarius, the Ace of
Aquarius.
Swords. So,
Yeah.
and I think that that means that like a lot of truth has come out, and that's why we are celebrating.
Yep. Yep.
Right, and the Six of Wands has to do with like an internal victory also, and I think with the Ace of Swords aspecting that card, it's sort of like creative expression. It represents creative expression, your business, your projects, and I think people are starting to express themselves in different ways. You know, birthing new businesses, doing something different than what we're accustomed to. You know, expressing their spirituality in different ways, their creativity in different ways. And it's a birth of a new world in that way. I think this is the year that people start expressing themselves more, and it's a new beginning in that way.
Nice, nicely
Yeah.
said.
Super.
And
All right.
just to, I'm sorry, go back to the House of Cancer real quick. There could be a pregnancy or two with our group. You never know. Celebrating that family for new families or adoptions, right?
Adoptions, maybe not here though. We're good.
Yeah, I also thought of what I was thinking of when you were talking, Barb, about the Page of Cups and the Ten of Cups here. It's like flip
Sorry, I hit the
back,
button.
Lynn. Yeah, that's it. It's like in June we're just starting to think about maybe a whole new kind of home or family kind of, or how we're going to change things. And then by the time we get into Capricorn season, the 10th of house, the 10 of cups, things are very much kind of changed and a little bit better. So by the end of the year, things are a lot better. I thought of something
summer,
else.
You've got the summer and the winter solstice there too. So summertime and
interesting.
wintertime. So yeah.
And also, just to mention this, I think of it, you know, the 10th house of Capricorn with the 10 of cups there. This is a very important card, and it's a bit of an overview for the whole year, and like where will we be at the end of this year, and how will we evolve? So we're going from the Page of Cups. You know, we're thinking about making some changes, and we're going from like new ideas and maybe some surprises into kind of a full-blown happy kind of situation at the end of the year. So I think that that's a very positive kind of overview card as well.
Yeah, nice. So now if we move to the sixth house, which is the strength card, what is that? That's health, and what else is that, Lynn? Health and like daily.
That's the House of Virgo. Yeah, health, daily routines, work, pets, paying karma, debt, detoxing, healthy habits, natural remedies.
So if we look at the strength card, let's just say around health and the daily routines, and it's aspected with the Seven of Cups. What does that give you, Allie?
Big pharma coming out.
Yeah,
sorry.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. I feel that mainstream medicine is going down.
Yep.
I feel that I'm going to say med beds because I think it will kind of come out, but it could be something else. It could be other stuff. I mean, there's so many different healing modalities out there, but I think there's going to be something that comes out that's really advanced, that is going to blow people's minds, and it's just going to shine a light on how shit mainstream medicine on the whole is, and big pharma, and how it doesn't actually solve anything. It just puts a sticky plaster on there. So because you're going to have such amazing kind of new ways to make us healthy, we don't need all that other stuff.
Yeah, they call it mainstream media, kind of like spit and duct tape type thing, back in the day, the mechanics or anybody that had to fix something in the house, they spit and duct tape it, it's patch it up a little bit,
Duct tape fixes everything.
and I'm not to say that I'm not saying that the mainstream media is completely, we don't need it at all. If we have like accidental things happen, and or if something serious like a bullet wound, or you're in the military and somebody needs to put a bone back, we actually really need that. And I have the
Totally.
utmost respect. I have the utmost respect for surgeons that can
Surgeons.
actually do that stuff.
hmm
And not that I don't respect doctors, because they're people too, and they were only taught what they were taught. But as far as daily, everyday lifestyle diseases, if we educate the people, maybe half of the hospitals would close. Unfortunately, a
Mm.
lot of people would lose their jobs, but maybe we need that to kind of
Yeah.
evolutionize how we're gonna be living,
Yeah.
how we go
And
about that stuff.
and Bob, I completely agree with you. It's good to have surgeons to patch you up in an emergency situation. But if we have med beds, we probably don't need someone who can go in and physically stitch you back together, because the med bed would do that anyway.
I
I
think
was
those
thinking,
med beds are still a ways away. We're still going to have the
I mean,
surgeons and stuff for a while.
there could be a ways away, yeah. There could be ways
Yeah.
away, but I'm saying like in the last 50, 60, 70 years, actually in 1920, I don't know if you all know this, but in 1920, the whole medical field was monopolized in 1920.
Founded by the Rothschilds.
yeah.
And it's like, well, you Indian man that healed all of your whole community, we don't need that anymore. You all come to us. You African
Mhm.
man that did that, or even Irish or whoever, whatever grandmother,
Mhm.
great grandmother, great grandmother did what.
Yep.
It's like, you all don't need that anymore.
Mhm.
Whenever you want to get help, you come to us, and then we'll tell you what to do. And actually, what we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of that stuff that the African man had, a little bit of what the Indian man had, we're going to put all together and put it a little bit of that into some pills, and then we'll put some other stuff with it, and then we'll sell it to you, and that's how you're going to do it from now on. And
Mm.
They
unfortunately,
removed, yeah, they removed a lot of medicinal old herbs and everything else. Marijuana used to
yeah,
be in the medical books,
yeah,
and
and
they
that
took it
that
out
became
around in the early 19th century, yeah, 20th
Mhm.
and
century.
that became alternative. It's like alternative.
Yep.
When did indigenous stuff become
Yeah.
alternative? I mean, how is that?
Well,
It's first that the first it was born first.
Yep.
yeah. I mean, the stuff that's been working for us for thousands of years, and all of a sudden it's illegal. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? So yeah, I think that's definitely. I think the health system is going to be turned on its head. And I think it's interesting with the lady in the strength card. She's got the infinity symbol above her head, which to me means that, there's always the old stuff, the thing that's been around for many, many years will kind of come back in, and also new things. So yeah, I keep feeling kind of real kind of tech, whatever that looks like, because so much tech that we have now, like the cars and things like that, they haven't really changed much since the 20s, have they? So I feel like we're going to have a real leap, and perhaps that's, that will be reflected in our daily routines and our work as well, because there'll be such a leap in tech. Our whole kind of life, in a way, will kind of change up. I don't know.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Let's really hope. Okay. So if we move on to the seventh house, Allie. The seventh house is what? Libra.
Yep.
Libra.
So let's
Yeah.
see, Aries,
The house of
Virgo,
other.
Libra. Of what?
Yeah.
The house of other partnerships, significant other
Oh, yeah.
relationships, contracts. Yep. Mediation, one-on-one.
I mean, we've talked about this, a few times already, and this is about speaking truth in partnerships and significant relationships and contracts, and yeah, and because it's aspected by the Emperor, we're really standing in our power. We really, we don't doubt ourselves anymore. We absolutely know that what we're talking is the truth. And just as I said before, I think people will be coming to us for the truth. Yeah, has anybody got anything else to add on that?
Kaila?
Yeah, I agree with Ali. I mean, the Queen of Swords, she sticks to what she believes in, and she speaks it like it is. You know, she's aspected by the Emperor, and he has a lot of boundaries. So she's been through a lot. Also, you know, you can see on her the seat that she's sitting on. She has been through a lot, and she has now come into her own truth, and she's sticking to her boundaries. And we have done that over the last few years, you know. And so now we're just not mixing words. We're, you know, standing in our power with everybody else, whether it be partnerships, other relationships, whether it be our jobs, whatever it is.
It's interesting that there's a butterfly on the base of her throne. So we've all gone through this transformation.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I mean, and I think we are different people than what we were, say, 3 years ago. I know I
oh,
certainly am.
definitely. Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah,
Miss
that's
Barbara.
all right. So we're going around to the eighth house. So the eighth house is Scorpio, which is my sign, Scorpio.
Okay,
And
tell
that
us
would be
all
what?
about it, lady. Tell us
All
all
right,
about it,
girl.
our noble
All
Scorpio.
right, we like, yeah, girl, got it going on. So the eighth house Scorpio, it's intimacy, sexuality, intimate relationships, of course. I guess it'd be like crises, life and death situations,
Hidden
spiritual,
knowledge, esoterics. Yep. Yep.
esoterics. And so now that would be the seven of wands, which is the seventh of wands is it's a unique, it's a person that stands in their power, somebody that stands up for what they want, stands up for what they need, they defend themselves. So and this is going to be aspected with the if I'm not mistaken, the Empress.
Yep.
Yeah, look right across that Empress. So this is almost like this could be an example of me. I used to be like almost like embarrassed or kind of like I didn't want to let people know that I read tarot cards, you know. And this is a part of my spirituality. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how what my family's gonna think. I don't know what my friends are gonna say. I don't know what they're gonna say on Facebook or whatever, blah blah blah. And now I'm like, you know what? I feel like the guy, and I feel like the guy in 71. Look, it is what it is. You take me the way you are. I'm not hurting you. I'm not hurting anybody else, at least not on purpose. And I have a lot to learn about it, a lot to give, and I could even teach a lot. And that's like with the Empress. Like she's abundance. She's got she's plentiful.
Yep.
So it's like I'm defending how I feel about what my spirituality, and I feel very rich with it. I feel very really really, and I think a lot of people are feeling this way. How do you all feel about your spirituality or your intimacy as well? You know, those types of things.
Yeah, I mean, as well, you know, it's aspected by the Queen of Swords, Barb, isn't it? So, you know, it's like I think I said, is it I'm not sure whether it was one of our recorded sessions or one of the other ones that we had, but I feel like we've kind of grown a pair. You know, I feel like we've grown kind of balls, as it were,
Yeah.
over the last kind of 6 months, a year. We are standing on our own power, and I personally do feel more confident in everything that I know, especially even just stuff like with the tarot. You know, I think we've all come along leaps and bounds, and I think we're all quite confident in kind of saying it as as it is, you know, in front of like here, or you know, in front of other people, families, friends, clients, etc. So yeah, I think we've and we're not afraid to battle off, as it were, the naysayers, and we're more
Yeah.
confident and able to kind of do that.
Yeah. And if you look at that guy, you know, he doesn't look like he has an attitude or anything. It's just like he's had it
He's quite
and
relaxed, isn't he?
he's relaxed. He's had it. He's like, well, you know, I'm going to stand for what I feel is right for me. And I will fight you over it if I have to, because I feel very powerful in it. I feel really rich, especially with the Empress behind him. I mean, you know, these two are really, really good cards together. The Seven of Wands and aspected by the Empress. That's awesome. So I think that a lot of people are going to start feeling this as we get this, you know, in the zodiacs. A lot of people are going to start feeling it.
I kind of get the feeling of like a righteous battle as well. I feel that all the truth that comes out will give fuel to people's fire in regard to getting rid of like the last elements of rubbish that we have had to battle.
Nice, nice. Okay, well, so we have the next card would be the Four of Swords. That would be the ninth house. Right, Lynn? The ninth house, is that?
Yep. House of Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Okay, because Sagittarius is after Scorpio.
Philosophies, belief systems, travel, foreigners, spiritual guides, teachers, mentors, legal matters. Interesting that it's aspected with the Five of Pentacles.
Yeah, so the
Gemini.
Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords, you had the guy, he's laying down, looks like he's laying on a casket or whatever. It's an intimidating card sometimes if you don't know what tarot is about. People see that and they go wild. They're like, oh my gosh, the guy's dead. He's laying down, he's almost meditating in a meditative state with his hands in a meditative state. And there's swords represent thoughts and words. So he's basically thinking and meditating. You have three swords on top of him, but there's a sword that's down under. It's almost kind of like hidden. So it's almost like, okay, he's meditating on his philosophy, but there are still some things that in his belief systems, there's still some things that he's not getting, still some things that he's not understanding. A lot of people still feel that they're probably feeling something. They're feeling some type of spiritual, if you're a human, I guess, you're feeling some type of spirituality, some type of beliefs, and you're starting to look around and say, well, what's really going on? But I still don't have all the answers. So I don't know. And it makes them feel a certain type of way with that Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles, like these people feel a certain way, you know, it's like, oh, I don't feel adequate. I don't feel right. There's something about my belief says, I know there's something out there, but I'm not really quite with it. So people are going to kind of go through, they're kind of like, and some people might even abandon the beliefs that they used to have. And it's kind of hard to abandon beliefs. It's almost like abandoning a religion. You know, you have a religion all these years. And it's hard for somebody to come in and change a religion, almost like. And we want to talk, you know, if we want to talk to people with religion. So that's what I'm getting. What do you think about that, Kaila?
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And also, as it's the house of travel, like international travel, I feel there will be some temporary setbacks in terms of travel this year. When that's going to happen, not quite sure. But there is some unknown information that I think is going to come out this year, or things that are going to change people's way of looking at spirituality in general, their philosophies, because we all have grown in our own personal truth, but we are still learning every day. So things are going to come out that's going to probably be a little bit hard to hear sometimes, but it's necessary, and we're going to learn a lot more about the facade that we've been living in with that Nine of Cups. Is it Nine of Cups? 10 of Cups?
10 of Cups.
Right. Yeah, 10 of Cups, just right next to the Four of Swords. Yeah.
I also feel that Saggy season could be quite a restful time. And if you look back to 2023, Scorpio was a bit intense and Sag season was a bit more light-hearted. And after the battles of Scorpio season there with the Seven of Wands, you know, we can relax a little bit and feel a little bit more at ease, especially because it's aspected, it's across from the Five of Pentacles. So probably our worries about money and things like that have maybe abated, and we can be a little bit more rested, because if you look then towards the 10 of Cups, you know, this becomes a real kind of happy, joyous time. So I feel like House of Saggy is just going to be a breathe out, and then it's all like happy again at the end of the year.
Nice. Okay, so we have the now we have the 10th house, which is the card at the top, which is considered the 10 of Cups, with the family at the top, 2 children, for everybody that's watching, that's learning tarot. And that's the house, the 10th house is
Capricorn.
Capricorn is after Sagittarius.
Yep.
Capricorn's after
Capricorn. Career and public life.
And future
Life.
as well. Future maybe.
Life
Yeah.
missions, public recognition, public life, authority figures. Could be the father or authority figure. Doesn't necessarily have to be the actual father. Yep.
So that's the Ten of Cups. So how would you tie that in?
I think that this is what we're going to all aspire to. You know, we're going to have family, we're going to be on land, we're not going to be up in, you know, tower blocks, you know, which are crappy for everyone's mental health. You know, it's feet on the ground. You see that dude on the left, if he got socks on, he's grounding, he's, you know, the sun's out, they're happy. This is how we're supposed to be. You know, look, this is the carefree card, isn't it? I actually said to my husband, who's not really awake, the other day, I said to him, I said, I think if we're not in a very different place this time next year, I said, I'll eat this bench. And I sat at this bench. So I really hope that it will be, otherwise I'll be eating a bench. But yeah, I kind of feel I feel like we're going back in time, but in a good way. So we'll be going back to original values and, you know, in one with nature, and you know, having the Empress card there. She's a real bounteous nature card. But so we're going back to nature, but with the addition of new tech, which we'll talk about in the next card, which is the Ace of Swords in the House of Aquarius, which is very tech kind of biased, very future biased. So there'll be lots of truth, lots of new things coming out with tech, but it's grounded with that nature, lovely, happiness, rather than AI taking over in a very evil way.
And how would you aspect that with the Page of Cups?
Yeah, so we talked about that, right? So the Page of Cups is us starting to think about how our lives can change, and then the Ten of Cups, so that was in, what was it, June? So we're thinking about, okay, so all these changes are coming in, what does that mean for us? And we've all got these new ideas, and then by the end of the year, we're either kind of starting to implement it, or we're kind of like there, you know, our lives are very much different at the end of the year based on the our plans that we had in June.
You know what it reminds me of with the Ten of Cups? It's kind of like we're saying goodbye to the age of Pisces, and with the Ten of Cups is like we're saying goodbye to the age of Pisces, and the Page of Cups is like, hello, age of Aquarius. Bring on the surprises.
Totally got truth bumps there, Lynn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since this is the house of authority figures, too, it's I think with the Ten of Cups aspected with the Page of Cups, I think though that truth and information that we've been waiting on coming out about those authority figures across the world, it's definitely coming out this year with the Ace of Swords and the Four of Swords next to that card on top. You know, so all of that unknown information and truth that we're waiting for, I think this is the year for it being made public.
Yeah, nice.
Yep. All right. So that would take us to the 11th house, which is Aquarius, and which will be friends and groups and communities. I guess would be also
goals, social media, new technology, sharing knowledge, large events, retirement, gains, and networks.
And I also think it's really interesting. We've got the Ace of Swords in the House of Aquarius, as Pluto will be going into Aquarius for 9 months of 2024, right, Lynn? And then at the end, so if we're looking at this, so the Emperor starting in April 2024, we're looking at like that. By the time we're into Aquarius in 2025 here, we are in officially, Pluto is in Aquarius full time, and he's going to be there for like 220 years or so, right, Lynn? So I think that that's really, really interesting. And I think just as was it you, Lynn, that was saying, yeah, we're saying goodbye to the age of Pisces in the house of Capricorn there, and then we're slipping into the age of Aquarius at the beginning of 2025, which kind of resonates with me, even though we're not actually sure when the age of Aquarius actually starts. It's something to do with when the sun rises and all that sort of stuff. Lynn, I'm sure you can help us out a little bit more there, but yeah. But yeah, that's, and the when we say goodbye to the age of Pisces, doesn't that kind of relate to the, if I pronounce this wrong, excuse me, Kali Yuga, you know, the Hindu
it's bringing us into a new yuga. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think with the age of Pisces ending, we're going into that new, more beautiful, bounteous, lovely way of living. And I'm not saying that everything's going to be amazing at the end of 2024, even the beginning of 2025, but certainly a lot of the bad shit will be kicked to the curb.
All right.
For sure. That sounds great, huh?
All right. So we come around to the closing of the 12th house, which is Pisces, the house of Pisces, which is deep unconscious, subconscious,
Dreams.
let's say.
Yeah.
Mental health, and and
illusions and secrets. Yep.
Illusions, secrets. I mean, with that guy standing in front of all those cups, now you can see a lot of those. That's 7 of Cups. You see some really cool stuff in those cups, but at the same time, you see some scary nightmares in those cups too. And right now, people's mental situation, the mental health, their spirit, their deep subconscious, and it could also be addictions as well. We're kind of going through something right now. We're kind of really going through something, but and it's not really that good. But at least it's aspected, if I'm not mistaken, it's aspected with the Strength card, which is we're holding on really strong, and we're pushing through, because the Strength card also kind of seems like somebody that has held tight for so long and fought for so long that at the finally they're getting their trophy, that the Strength card, the strength is coming through. So it's like we might have some ups and downs as far as mental states or deep subconscious, awakenings, these types of things. But it looks like we'll push through with that Strength card. It's like a hump that we have to get over.
Yeah.
And it's aspected with the Emperor too. So, that's a good card. The Emperor is a good guy. He's confident, he's a leader, he's truthful, and also the Ace of Swords. So what do you all think?
I think we're breaking free of a lot of illusions at that point, because I think at that point, then we clearly we should be in the age of Aquarius by the time we're back into the Aries again at that point. So,
yeah.
And the good thing about all of this, is that there's that one card in the middle, the Page of Pentacles, which is like that new element comes into place. We're looking at things in a new way, new jobs. It's like a new enthusiasm. So with all of this going on around us, all of these cards around these houses, we're looking at it in a positive way. Like, we want to learn, we want to be open to it.
Yeah, it's like starting a new world, right? The beginning of something physical that's new.
Yeah.
The Page of Pentacles.
And new money too.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. That's absolutely a nod to the new financial system, isn't it? Yeah. And I think it's fortuitous that you pulled on gold cards, Barb.
Yep. Our gold cards, yes. That's
nice.
Right. The gold standard. Gold standard. Awesome.
Well,
so that's what we got for for humanity and us and in general.
I think that's a really nice pull. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish up with so Lynn has already pulled some tarot, some oracle cards, and some dice for us and our viewers for the next 2 weeks until our next show, and it will give us an overview of how to navigate best based on what's coming. So let's see how it kind of relates to the poll that we just did as well. That could be quite interesting. So
Yeah, we're gonna let Kaila take it away with her lovely interpretations.
Yeah, so this morning when Lynn did this poll, I was like, wow, there's a lot going on here because I'm not so familiar with these cards that she used, but they're quite interesting. So I did, at first I was like, what's happening here? There's a lot. Then it just kind of came in, all of the messages all at once. So let's see what we got. And the first thing I looked at were the tarot cards. That would be, yes, the ones in the middle. And what I see first is the sun. The duck comes off as a sun card. Now the sun is one of the most positive cards in the tarot. It's like shining a light, something coming to light, and it's for the positive. Now, what does it have to do with? The second card is the Emperor. So, and in terms of these cards, is the bald eagle. So now the bald eagle can represent the Emperor in tarot for us represents Trump, but it also represents the USA in general with the bald eagle. So I think what's coming to light is something, it has to do with the USA. It could have to do with Trump. The Nine of Wands, which is the Scorpion here in particular, something comes out that may look or appear to be bad, but it's ultimately for the good. With the Five of Swords too, I get Trump and his 5D chess that he likes to play. It's like allowing things to happen with the Five of Swords. It may be information coming out that may sound like a gut punch, with the other side or the bad guys playing their unfair games, winning at all costs because of desperation. But with the Scorpion symbolism, there's protection, there's transformation happening. And with the Ten of Wands, there's an ending for something to do with the bad guys. They're showing their hand in a sort of a way, if in this chess game that they're playing. Whatever is happening, they can't keep it up for any longer. So there's a sort of ending. And people, the public, they're seeing them for who they really are. Now here, the last card we have here is the Scarabs. Now the scarabs can be a symbolism for the ancient Egyptians of life cycle, death, rebirth. So it's an ending because it's the Ten of Wands, but there's also a new beginning. So the message here is whatever we see happening within the next 2 weeks, it has to be this way. There is an ending happening, but it's for the better. This is sort of clarified for me with Lynn's dice. The first one to me is mail, like it could be email, letters, whatever it is, and that sort of represents news to me. The lion is the need for strength, and the bicycle is balance. So the message here for me is no matter what news comes out, whatever is happening in the world, don't get caught up in what it appears to be. Sit in your strengths. And I think there are other cards around that sort of signifies strength also. Sit in your strength, keep in mind the end game and the destiny, and see that has already happened so that we can bring this into being. Keeping balanced internally is important. Don't get swayed too much by what you see or what you hear. Go internally to your personal intuitive side and discern what's really happening. Also, we see here there's an oracle card saying it's not personal. There's a need to remain detached. Don't internalize anything too much. Sit with your intuition and don't get affected, too much by what you see or hear. The Triceratops card speaks about standing in your strength and in your truth, speaking your truth. It's no longer time to hide, your views or your strength. We are now standing in our truth. The card that says Ancient Oak Spirit, what comes to me is inner wisdom. So use this as your guidance and your strength. Don't look too much. There's a lot of information out there. We now have to really go inwards and, look at our discernment. Discernment is important. And the last card is clear your mind. This sort of speaks for itself. So don't be distracted by the external too much. Stay in the present. Allow your higher self to guide you. So that's what I got from the cards. Anybody else?
And I like the clear your mind goes well with the it's not personal too. I think that
Right.
brings that ties that into. Yeah.
They really do feed into each other.
Yep. Yeah.
I really think that there's going to be a last kind of sting in the tail, as it were, with that scorpion. You know, they're going to try something, but it could be a strategic kind of thing with that Five of Swords as well. So there could be some kind of strategy that kind of gets us to the end, gets us to the Ten of Wands. So again, expect the unexpected, really. Expect anything, but know that ultimately, I think they'll be good.
Yeah, what you're saying, I like the Scorpio with the sting, but you know what? I just occurred to me with the fly, not even thinking of it as Five of Swords, how we've been hearing that they've been thinking about doing another sickness, and flies are known to transport diseases. That was kind of so we could even expect something as crazy as that coming up for them to try again. I think they've been trying all along and nothing else has really grabbed. So
yeah,
I think that the best thing about the whole spread is that no matter what they try, you know, with the Five of Swords, the fly, or the scorpion, is that we have the sun, and the sun brings them to positivity any spread. So we have the sun shining on us, and we have the bald eagle, which is the emperor. So it's the emperor is the leader, and he stands for truth and confidence.
Yeah.
And the Triceratops really, is very protective too. With that brings in more protection. Yep.
And it's really important, isn't it, to think about that in the Zodiac Spread, we are the emperor, and we need to remember that we need to stand in our own power. We've also got that strength, ancient oak spirit card as well, which we had in the Zodiac Spread, you know, and we've got the lion there on your dice again, hinting at our strength. So whenever things might get a little bit shaky, let's just stand in our own strength and remember who we are.
Yeah. Lovely message, right?
Nice. All right, so let's finish up. Barb, how are your vocal cords?
Oh my gosh, well, they're hanging on. I wanted to say that you know, there's this Jamaican singer that almost everybody knows. Hold on a second.
We're gonna have to get Valerio a mask.
He's having one of the most busiest nights. Of course, we did the New Year's Eve thing. He had to get up early in the morning and had to do a brunch the morning after. And then he had to go back and get our equipment. And then we had a lot of stuff going on. He's really busy tonight. But anyway, there's a Jamaican singer that a lot of people know called Bob Marley. And there's another Jamaican singer that's probably just as famous as Bob Marley, but maybe not really. And his name is Jimmy Cliff. And he did the song years ago, and I think it's appropriate for 2024, you know, with the gold cards and with this beautiful pyramid spread that we had. And that's why I wore this bright yellow, I don't know if it's yellow here. Yeah, bright yellow shirt. So it's a song called and if you know it, you sing it with me. And if you don't know it, sing it anyway. Anyway, it's a song called I Could See Clearly Now. I'm going to do a little piece that goes, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you ever so much. Yeah. Nice.
For 2024.
Nice ending. Thank you ever so much, ladies. Thank you to all of you viewers out there. If you like what you've seen today, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Thank you, everyone. See you soon. Have a lovely start to 2024.
Happy New Year.
Bye.